All right, so I have a few anger management issues that I have dealt with, and I've come up with coping mechanisms. I still let things bother me at times. I've gotten so much better. One of the things that still gets to me sometimes, but I have a coping mechanism for, are telemarketers. This is, I'm able to handle it, but it still bothers me. And interesting side note, in England, they're not called telemarketers. If you use that word, that term, they may not know what they may think you're talking about something else, and or just not know what you're talking about. In England, they're called bastards, but it basically means the same. You know, if you say a bastard, they know blokes that call you up and waste your time out of nowhere. So I'll come back to that. Don't please let me come back to that. So the telemarketer calls you up. It's annoying. There's two ways I handle it. Here's the first way. I simply waste more of their time than they're wasting of mine. And here's what I mean. They call up. I'll do one of their accents. Hi, we have a product we're offering, and they take a minute and a half, constant, non-stop talking, word for word, and they take a breath and they ask you a question of, so is that something you'd be interested in? Is that something you'd be interested in? Pretty good product, right? And so that's when my strategy comes into play, and this is what I do. Oh, I'm so sorry. My phone was cutting out. I made out very little of what you're saying, especially at the beginning. I started to hear what you said at the end, but I heard none of the beginning. I can hear you clear as a bell now. Can you hear me? Yes. Great. Would you repeat everything you just said, please? Especially, I didn't hear the beginning. No problem. So the product, I cover the mouthpiece because sometimes I chuckle to myself and I don't want them to hear me, because then they'll exactly know what you're doing then. They repeat the whole thing again. And I secretly giggle to myself because, right? And it doesn't matter if you're listening or not. You can if you want. Maybe you want to give them some feedback. But I wouldn't, because this is the next thing I do. They say, so what about that product? I mean, that's something you could use, am I right? That's when I say, I'm so sorry. When you started talking, a commercial that I hadn't seen for a while came on the television. Excuse me. And I started paying attention to that. It's a really good commercial. I hadn't seen it in a while. I don't know when I'm going to see it again. And I started paying attention to that. I did not hear what you were saying. I apologize. I'm sorry. Would you repeat everything you just said and take it from the top, please? I put a little English on that, so to speak, just to, annoy them a little bit. At this point, 90% of these bastards, telemarketers, England, know what you're doing. They're quite annoyed now. 90% have the exact same reaction. I'm going to share that with you in a second. I've actually written this down in my notebooks. I keep records of this. I have no life. But statistically, 90% have the same reaction. The other 10% either will just simply hang up right in the middle of you speaking, or, they just hang up. And they're probably not calling back. The others might start swearing at you. They don't have as much discipline, and they are pissed. And I don't say anything. I just let them get it out of their system, and then they'll hang up. But they seriously give you the business. They swear. But the majority, the large majority, 90% at least, have the same reaction. It's extraordinary. You know what they do? Oh, really? Click. That is their reaction. They do hang up, but they have that exact same reaction. I found it fascinating that many of them actually do that. Oh, really? Click. And it's like they get trained that way, or they all go the same, this is what you do if they pull that wasting your time business. There was one fella who I felt a little bad. He actually fell for it and did it a second time. This was his reaction about the commercial, right? Sure. that happens. That makes it. There's a lot of good commercials on nowadays, right? So anyway, he actually a lot of good commercials. But I don't know if he was really paying attention to me or that was just, he hadn't had his coffee that day. But he repeated the whole thing again. I'm covering the mouthpiece because I'm laughing a little bit about him. Terrible, but... And so he gets done and he goes, so what do you think about that? You heard me, right? And I was this close to seeing if he'd do it a third time, trying another one on him. I couldn't do it to him, and I knew we were almost done anyway. I knew he was going to be hanging up. And I just admitted to him, yeah, look, I'm sorry. I wasn't even paying attention to you. I have no interest in what you have to say. I was just messing with you. I apologize. Do you know what his reaction was? Oh, really? Click. He had the same reaction as the 90 percentile. It just took him a little bit longer. It was amazing. It was funny. The other mechanism that I use, and this you need more time if you're going to do this with these telemarketers. I almost said bastard. So, and don't let me forget about the story from England about telemarketers. Another thing I might do is I lived on the East Coast for a long time, and I was around Jewish people with their Brooklyn or their Long Island type accents, and they're older, and I always found those accents kind of adorable, and I started listening kind of closely, and I kind of mimic them a little bit, and I'll use this voice. It's a very pathetic, you almost feel sorry for kind of voice, especially when you're complaining about things. And so what I will do, I'll just do it. I'll just give you an example. They'll call up, and I will do this. I have to get my voice ready to do this. Yes, hello. Oh, thank God, another person's voice. My kids, they're not even returning my phone calls. Damn it. They won't even... You have a few minutes because I'm on my ledge right here. I am on my ledge. I haven't seen my grandchildren in 2 weeks. They won't bring them over. They think this. I've been waiting by the phone for 2 days. This is the first phone call I've gotten, and I'm having a hard time right now. I really am. Can you help me? Now, some telemarketers, I've had one or two, actually just hang up on you. That's a bit cold. Somebody starts saying that to you. A lot of them will be like, oh, I'm so sorry. They still think if they can nurture you a little bit, they can maybe do this sale or get on track, because they try to be your friend. I don't let them go that way. I'll keep them on 15, 20 minutes if I can. Just raving about all kinds of things that bother this person that I'm pretending to be. There was this one lady, I felt kind of bad, but I had her on the phone for 15 minutes. She actually on her computer or her other cell phone or something was looking up suicide hotlines for me. I jotted them down. I thanked her for it. And she was trying to get off the phone. She was, now you call these people because they can help you. That I cannot give you the help that I think you need. I cannot help you like you need to be helped. And you promise me that you will call them because it is not worth it. And there's a brighter day. And I was, thank you very much. You've helped me today. I was about to throw myself down the flight of stairs yesterday. I was at the top of the stairs and I almost did it, damn it. And I'm sorry, but you have done something today. I am going to call these people. And I forgot who I was for a second. So she got off the phone and I was like, I don't think she'll be calling back. None of these people, when I have the time to do this, ever call back. You get put on the do not call list. I promise you. They're not going to want to sit through that again. A loony like that. It backfired on me one time. I did one of these. I was on for like 15 minutes, wasting time. And when I must have broke accent right at the end or something when I was saying bye, or I started to laugh a little bit, but I turned into a cry. I let the woman go. I get a phone call about 3 minutes later. It's a different phone number. And I'm tired and I've been doing my, Jewish elderly gentleman crying about things. So I just pick up the phone. Hello, what can I do for you? Whatever I said. The voice says, it's the same woman I just got done with a conversation on, for like 15 minutes. The voice says, I knew you were faking it. Shame on you. The only thing I could think to say was, oh, really? Click. I just hung up. Oh no, I used their strategy against them. It's the only thing I could think to say. And that was funny too, actually. The last thing about the bastards in England, telemarketers. They actually, you're going to find this hard to believe, they get killed a lot over there. And people don't really think much about it. I mean, it's not every day or every week, but at least 2 or 3 times a month there's some dead bastards getting shot, stabbed. And I know that's hard to believe. They don't have guns in England. Yeah, people still get shot, believe me. But it's mostly stabbed or beaten. It's horrible. I know it's horrible, but it's part of life. People will call up and say, yeah, there's a bastard here and he's dead. You know, someone's apparently killed him. He's got stab wounds in him. And the Scotland Yard will be like, okay, we'll send someone over to clean up. Is there anything else? It's not that uncommon, and people have become used to it because bastards do not live to be elderly. Occasionally they'll have a heart attack or skin cancer or something, or hit by a car accidentally. It's usually not an accident with these people. But they get homicided a lot. There's a lot of bastard homicides over there. Just to retrace, that's a telemarketer for over here. But, you know, all kinds of dead bastards. So anyway, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Cheers.